pack up that now. We're going to need some scallion in our nice bag. All right? So as you create your Christmas menus, remember to support our Eat Jamaican campaign. That means buying local produce. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. We have a few safety tips for your health, plus how to spice up that must-have Christmas ham. There's so much more in this half hour, so guess what? Sit back, relax, soon come.
Christmas is here again, and there are so many things you may want to do this Christmas. For parents, you know how the children can be. They are anticipating gifts and making all kinds of demands. But how can you meet those expectations when money is tight? Well, you may want to consider this. Why not engage the children? Talk to them about your financial situation. Let them know how much you have to spend and spell out the necessary things that you must buy. Let them help you design a budget and stick to it. Talk to them about the possibility of postponing gift giving until a later date when you can afford it. Or choose to buy a gift the whole family will enjoy. Don't assume they won't understand. Talk to them. You will be surprised how understanding they can be.
Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, December 19. National Security Minister Peter Bunting says a number of initiatives are being implemented to put a severe dent in crime. He was speaking recently on JIS TV's Issues and Answers program. Minister Bunting said the recently launched Unite for Change program and the passing of several pieces of legislation will empower the country to decrease the crime rate. The minister said the anti-gang and the DNA acts, which are expected to be passed in January, would further strengthen the powers of the security forces.
And they recently passed amendments to POCA to bring us into compliance with the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force recommendations. And that will make it more difficult to conduct money laundering activities.
These laws will work in tandem with others, such as the successful Law Reform Fraudulent Special Provisions Act, more commonly known as the Anti-Lottery Scam Law.
Even though it's less than 9 months old, we've had the first 4 or 5 convictions, and we have about 50 odd more persons charged with very strong cases.
Meanwhile, the police have increased their presence on the streets for the Christmas season. National Security Minister Peter Bunting says administrative duties have been reduced to a minimum and work leaves have not been granted to ensure that more officers can police the streets during the holidays. He is meanwhile urging citizens to remain vigilant and practice safety measures to protect themselves and their loved ones during the Yuletide season.
There's a lot you can do to reduce your risk of being a victim of robbery or theft. Don't travel with a lot of cash. Nowadays, it's very easy. Almost, every vendor will take a debit card or a credit card. The cost is minimal, so avoid pulling out a big wallet or a big wad of cash out of your pocket.
Over 350 young people have graduated from the Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP's internship program with the JDF. CSJP is a crime and violence prevention initiative which builds the overall safety and security of communities. Part of the prevention strategy involves providing an outlet for young people in the 20 to 35 age group to develop their skills and become more employable so they can support themselves and their families. At the recent graduation ceremony, National Security Minister Peter Bunting urged the graduates to be role models in their communities.
I expect you to exercise leadership, to engage your friends and families, to teach them to avoid gangs, teach them to avoid criminality, teach them not to give any refuge to those who are involved in that.
20 graduates who focused on electrical installation under the internship program will undergo further training at the Jamaica Public Service. CSJP and the JDF are expected to begin training a new batch of interns in April 2014. Government remains committed to the care and protection of senior citizens and other vulnerable individuals. Labour and Social Security Minister Derek Kelly gave the reminder as he addressed patrons at a recent Christmas treat at the Vineyard Town Golden Age Home.
We at the Ministry are pleased with the care being offered in this environment because it promotes and preserves the dignity and well-being of the persons that are here. The Ministry is also very much satisfied with the performance at the home. We are so far this year, approximately 80% of the targets that have been set have been achieved.
He says the ministry is exploring ways to make operations at the home more self-sufficient. The establishment of a vegetable garden and a proposed health and wellness center are part of that initiative. The garden was set up with assistance from public and private sponsors, and Minister Kelly is urging continued public support for the ministry's social protection programs. And finally, the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development is appealing to Jamaicans to ensure proper garbage disposal during the festive season. The appeal comes from the Acting Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Dion Jennings. She was speaking at the National Solid Waste Management Authority's annual Christmas tree lighting in Mandela Park Wednesday.
Make sure that you containerize your garbage. Put it in a secure place so that by the time those who will clean up after us, it will make their work easier.
For its part, the NSWMA is spending $45 million on an island-wide cleanup effort from December 15 to January 12, 2014. And that's it for JS News Today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Thank you so very much, and I'll come back again. Maintaining good health is important, even during the festive season. That is why we put together this next feature to help you stay on track. Merry Christmas when it comes. All right, thank you.
Food is an integral part of religious festivals or end-of-year celebrations. Come December each year, diaries are filled with parties, invitations from friends and family, and other activities, all revolving around food and drink. This is also the season when all the promises made 12 months ago may be broken because of celebrations. But you need not change your sensible lifestyle nor jeopardize your health because of the celebrations, especially if you have high blood pressure or diabetes. According to nutritionists, persons with high blood pressure or diabetes can still enjoy the festive season and keep a healthy lifestyle. This can be achieved if they remember the word moderation. The main ingredient in foods that affect blood pressure is sodium, which most people know as salt. Salt is the oldest and one of the cheapest food preservatives known to man. How can we forget saltfish in our ackee and salt beef in our soup? But persons with high blood pressure or diabetes should eat these dishes in moderation. Sodium or salt is also added to preserved meats such as ham, bacon, corned beef, and sausages. Many of the canned foods also contain sodium in the form of salt water solution, which is a very good preservative in the canning industry. However, it could have an adverse effect on the health of persons with high blood pressure or diabetes if not consumed in moderation. Salt is also used in the production of cheese, where its main purpose is to remove water from cheese. Therefore, the harder the cheese, the more salt has been added to it in the production. So if you have high blood pressure or diabetes and want to eat cheese during the festive season, select soft cheese. Again, moderation is also the key. Another main dietary item that affects blood pressure and diabetes is alcohol in all its forms. Whether it's beer, rum, whiskey, wine, or several other strong drinks, experts say the effect of alcohol on blood pressure is almost instantaneous. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes, you can still enjoy yourself and be healthy during the festive season if you follow these tips for dealing with salt, sugar, and alcohol.
Give me this one. I like that one. Okay, thank you very much. For ham lovers, this is a must-have during the festive season. Now, Christmas dinners and other meals would seem incomplete without a slice on the plate. But how did this succulent meat got its tempting taste? Our next features take us through what is called the curing process. So I want you to do, bag this for me. Yeah, thank you. Merry Christmas. Here, Papa.
Pork has always been a popular meat for many civilizations due to the ease of raising pigs and preserving the meat. One of the choice cuts of the pork is the leg, which is used to make smoked ham, a popular serving for that special occasion, especially the Christmas feast. A well-rounded pork leg makes a good ham. In recent years, local pig farming and pork production in Jamaica has had the benefit of improved technology and breed stock that ensures the delivery of the ideal and quality pork cuts. From the home-style cured ham to the more commercial ventures, the processing, in principle, has remained the same as in ancient times. The common thing to do in times gone by was to rub the meat in salt, select spices and seasonings, and leave it for several months to be well cured and flavored. Over 35 years ago, entrepreneur Winston Williams took on the special tradition as a business, starting with a small ham processing facility in Kingston, which he grew over the years with the hope of fulfilling the demands of the marketplace.
The cutting of the pork is very important because each cut has a different price. So you have to cut accordingly, 2 or 3 fingers from the bone here. That's the proper way of cutting a leg. The shoulder also is a bit round, but it's much smaller. And the shoulder has more muscles than, say, the leg. But it is just a good, juicy piece of meat, just as you would enjoy the leg. If it is not done that way, then the whole texture of the meat will be different, because when you eat a bit of leg, you will know the difference from eating a strip of bacon.
He would select the finest bone-in ham, cure it in a secret marinade, and then, for tenderness, smoke the ham for hours over a unique blend of hardwood chips or his gas-fueled kiln, which he called the smokehouse.
We are in the process of curing legs from our own Jamaican pig farmers, pigs that is grown in a hygienic way, and they reach the plant in good condition. They are slaughtered, inspected, stamped before they get into the plant. After they are in the plant, they are chilled, then they are cut in various parts, including the leg, which is used for leg ham.
The brine solution, although unique to a particular processor, could consist of water, salt, sugar, and pickling spices such as mace, pimento, cloves, cinnamon, and other seasoning ingredients. The solution is injected with ice-cold water from a brine pump into the meat. This has a long hollow tube with rows of holes down the sides. As the plunger is depressed, the brine is forced through the holes into the meat tissues.
He's using a pickle injector, a handheld pickle injector, which the process is that the entire area of meat has to be cured. So he uses a needle that it has a lot of holes here. So when it is able to penetrate the entire area of meat. When the customer gets a ham, the flavor is dispersed all around. Pumping has now been completed. We are moving it into the chill room for the further curing to take place. Mr. Malcolm. The hams are cured before they are netted. They come to this room where they are massaged. The reason for massaging is in the event that during the pumping, any little area of the meat that didn't initially get enough curing, the massaging process will make sure that the entire surface of the meat, the massaging process disperse and try to distribute the spices throughout the entire surface of the meat.
The hams are then netted after being massaged and put to hang in large kilns or smokehouses for approximately 12 hours.
What we look for in terms of quality is the size of the leg, the shape of the leg, the tenderness of the meat. You know, when you put all these together, you come out with a quality product. The meat, when it is tender, it is able to hold moisture. So the end product, when it's being eaten, it is not a dry, trashy piece of meat, but is meat that is tender and juicy.
Smoking kilns are built in a variety of fashions. They can be brick chimney-like structures or stainless steel enclosures. Using the correct type of wood is essential in successful smoking. The wood must be non-resinous and burn slowly and steadily. Aromatic herbs such as rosemary may also be added during smoking to enhance the flavor. The amount of time that the ham remains in the smoker is determined by the desired intensity of flavor as well as the amount of cooking desired. That period can be as little as 48 hours or as much as several weeks.
From there, it goes to be chilled, after which they are packaged and ready to be shipped.
We continue to stress the need for due care on our road. Though we've missed the below 240 target for road fatalities this year, road safety officials are resolute that Jamaicans must help in making our roads safer. Up next, a crash victim shares her story.
2008. 4 years ago, 3 months, 8 days. I was walking along the sidewalk when from the back I was hit by a speeding motorist. The impact tossed me airborne for some 21 feet, and the driver, still having not gained control of the car, ran over me. I was smashed into the asphalt and semi-conscious with a burst head, fractured skull, right broken apart shoulder, broken ribs, partially smashed off and broken left knee, doubly broken right knee, smashed apart and broken, numerous wounds, lacerations, and my right leg, which was run over, laid there in a queer angle with large mince and segmented portions of exposed bone.
At the time of the crash, Falasha was only 21 years old, a first-degree, first-year university student. She held a full-time job and was very involved in numerous church, sports, and voluntary activities. And without notice, all that changed in an instant.
It took less than 10 seconds and one driver's misjudgment, one driver's decision to speed, one driver's choice to be reckless, one minute selfish act of dangerous driving, and in less than 10 seconds most of my bones were broken, my whole being shattered, my body wrecked, my life radically marred and completely changed forever.
Falasha awoke to find herself in hospital, hooked to numerous machines, with tubes and needles invading her body. Her head, hands, and legs were screwed with nails and supported by metal poles. She was crippled by excruciating pain, and no amount of painkillers seemed to give any relief. It was at that point that she wished she had died. Since then, she has undergone 15 major surgeries to bring her body to a point of rehabilitation, including the amputation of her right leg.
For the last 4 years, instead of like my peers pursuing educational, social, and economic dreams and goals, I have had to fight and struggle to find recovery, where my dreams have been forcibly pushed on a ledge so far from my reach. Because of one driver's choice not to observe road safety, I'm unable to cross the streets or be around moving cars for any amount of time without being overwhelmed by the sense that I'm about to be hit down. I am afflicted with insomnia, panic, and anxiety attacks, and I'm daily haunted by graphic flashbacks of this accident in my waking hours, and in the little sleep I get, nightmares.
And the pain continues. One driver's choice to disobey road rules has cost Falasha the loss of family and friends who have found it difficult to come to terms with the sudden transformation of her life. And there's more.
I have lost relationships and suffered devastating heartbreaks because these guys could not and eventually refused to deal with or see beyond the destruction of my being, and thus walked away. After the accident, I had to drop out of university, and to date, I have not been able to resume.
If it had not been for one driver's choice to be reckless on our roads, Falasha would have graduated in July 2012. And instead of having a student loan debt, she has incurred hospital expenses of more than $5 million and growing, and has to find over $30,000 monthly for medication, crippling her personal savings and dashing her hopes of finding employment.
Because of one driver's choice to not observe road safety, whenever I apply for a job, my visual damages are what are seen, and my credits, qualifications takes back page, and they create an endless list of cans and render me disabled and incapable without a chance, making it manifold times harder in a job market that is already very overpopulated. Time won't allow me to even begin to list and dissect for you the countless ways in which this accident has affected my life and continues to wreak havoc in my body. Just imagine with me for 1 minute. You're in constant, horrendous pain, moving around on one leg that has a broken knee, using an arm with a broken shoulder that is protruding through the skin, that your leg has been amputated in a society that removed the disc from disability and placed on the, thus rendering the disabled unable. Where every single day, everywhere you go, people stare at you like you just fell from Mars. Where hardly anyone sees or treats you as a wholesome person with wholesome brain, emotions, and feelings. And when persons look at you, they no longer see you, but see an amputation, and thus look at you and make comments laced with pity, smirks, condemnation, mockery, and for some, even scorn. That you are no longer looked at as a rightful contributing member of society, but as a liability who is barely tolerated. There are no words to adequately express to you all that one driver's disregard for road safety has done and continues to do with my life. I stand here today only because of the grace and goodness of God. And I am begging you, please do not be the next driver to disregard road safety and shatter another person's life. Don't be the next driver to, through irresponsible and dangerous driving, choose to destroy another life.
Show love in Christmas to somebody, give them little something, go to them home, show them how much you appreciate them. That is what Christmas is all about, love, and give what you can give.
I think we're not very kind, we're not very hospitable to our peers or to others out there, so I think instead of just shopping for ourselves, that we can maybe, for buying 3 rolls of tissue, we can give away 1 roll, or, you know, whatever we buy, we give to somebody, we give some to somebody else.
They could give what they have at home, or they could invite someone over to their house and share something with them.
By being with family and friends, and, well, it's not really about gifts, just loving everybody. Even though it should be an everyday thing, but at Christmas time it should be more prominent.
Well, you have to look out for the needy, as simple as that. And those who are homeless, those are the people who we should try to attend to, not only on Christmas but throughout the years.
Giving and sharing, kids them, do the kids them good, give them toys and all these things.
Christmas is all about coming together and sharing things. You don't have to buy expensive gifts, and so you can just come together as one big family and celebrate Christmas. Buy anything you can afford, don't put your heart where it can't reach.
It's the season for giving, whether cash or kind. Remember to share with someone in need. And as we close the pages of Jamaica Magazine for today, remember to stay safe on our roads. We'd love to hear from you, so send us your emails to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or follow us on Twitter @JIS News. Remember to visit our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Have yourselves a wonderful evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.